Hello. I'd prefer not to do the skips, but seeing as how people like doing the skips, it looks like we might have to do the skips. Fuck. See the Somali daycare scam we have right here? They have 4 people in a group. They're sitting in the queue waiting for a fifth. All they need is a DPS, and they don't respond to text messages or whatever they're called. Try to sell all these Prima Fires. Uh, 30, we'll just fucking put it up for 30, 40, 30, 49 then. There's pages of them that much. 30, 49. Whatever. Fuck was that? Oh, it's windy outside. Okay. All right, guys. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to quit playing World of Warcraft because everybody's. I really have no reason to be doing the heroic daily. That's the thing. Maybe try to find a Gruul group or something. No one doing Gruul? Is it two L's? Gruul? Anybody doing Gruul? Karazhan? Uh, is that Meredith from The Office? Girl walking around outside the courthouse there on TV looked like Meredith from The Office. People are being ridiculous. Everything besides Durnhold. 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 Cool. Well, hopefully we don't skip a whole bunch. Just figure out when we get there. Fuck. Mm. I spilled coffee on the bed. It would be just a matter of time. Son of a bitch. Fuck. Man, how did you pull that shit? Try to come up with something to talk about today, really. I have another load of laundry. I got to get some other stuff done. Other than that, might go grocery shopping later. You guys are more than welcome to come with me. Hold my hand, walk me down the aisle. What? Okay, so if they gave me a million years to try and figure out all this how to skip shit, and no one was like, yeah, no, this is you run this way, this way, this way, hug the wall here, Scooby Doo tiptoe here, there rather. Um, I would never have figured. I would never have been the guy to go like, well, maybe we can just skip all this stuff. I always, even now that I know, I'm like, just opt for fucking clearing the trash, right? These don't sheep. These are immune, right? Either way. Because the thing about slave pins is, you go from boosting slave pins to um, clearing slave pins, which is like boosting is you try to kill as much stuff as possible to get as much experience as you can, and then you go to skipping is like the goal is to do the least amount as possible, or so you get used to doing it one way, and then have to do the opposite. But something I didn't know, but I seen earlier, is that I didn't know Ben Affleck, of all people, as a like an AI movie company or something. He's on the thing for whatever. That was interesting. That's the update on AI news for the day. Right. There's probably more. I haven't had much of a chance this afternoon to look through it yet. Hey. Maybe you can finally solve that real complicated math problem on the chalkboard using AI. I don't think I've ever watched that movie. I really don't think I've ever watched it now that I think about it. Everyone always makes fun of it and talks about it. I've yet to actually watch the thing. I'll probably just keep it that way. Wait for the sequel. Right. Oh, that joke's been done before. Fucking shit. In fact, I was just quoting the joke about that just yesterday to my imaginary friends on World of Warcraft. Well, I assume they're my imaginary friends. They didn't really say if I was in the club or not. Never really got the official nod. I never really got the official. They never taught me the official handshake or anything. So I guess they're expecting me to come up with all that stuff. Oh, I almost fucking jumped to my death. I wasn't even paying attention. Oh fuck! Almost fell off there too. Oh, that guy did too. Oh, someone put some fucking Crisco oil there on the corner. What? Slip, trip, and fall. Better call Saul. So I guess people are getting better at the skipping part. This other stuff up here is still. I mean, it's all cheese. I don't agree with it. It's all cheese bullshit. I don't mean cheesy poofs either. I mean regular cheese balls. Not a good thing. See, this group has been entirely silent. I guess it's like they only communicate using emotes, right? That might be their equivalent of the secret handshake. They like didn't even tell me what instance we were going to. They just summoned me here. Now we get to do this part. Everybody's fucking favorite. That guy's pet just ran around, did it? Is that what that thing just did? It did. Derp derp, master. Fucking dismiss your pet. How'd that not pull? Now are we pulling this pull? We don't have a soothe, do we? We're probably gonna have to. Are we scared? Oh, these guys. Oh, these guys. Does your guild raid and do you need a mage is the question? Yeah, I don't invisible. I do, but what's the plan here? Oh my god, your pet guy? Is that what we're doing? Well, you should, I need an explanation sometimes. That's new to me. Like it helps to know what the fuck's going on, at least a little bit. Hey, we're gonna try something totally fucking new, and this is what it consists of. Now his pet's there again, and he's... Did he fall? Fuck, did I aggro? I guess I aggroed. Thought I was out of range. Yeah, I guess it's my fault, man. Fucking... If you understand where it's complicating to do it that way. Let any further, I'd fall down like the hunter did. In all honesty. That sucks. I hate wiping a group like that, but I always opt for like, well, even just a brief explanation of what we were doing is kind of helpful. Not making excuses. I'm just saying like, no communication whatsoever, and then the hunter pulls his shit. The fucking thing's running everything around. I'm like, okay, now I figured it out, but still. I guess these guys don't speak English at all. Or they're just ignoring the shit out of me for some reason. Remember, these guys can stealth and I can't, so... Whatever. Caught in a bad spot. It's invisible. These guys are all stealth. I'll stick with the guy that can't stealth. Wow, this is fucking ridiculous, right? How is this? How was I closer to the other shit than this? Those don't aggro? It's like a fucking make your butthole pucker. Quite literally waiting on you. Okay. So cheeseball. Oh shit. I know all this skips. This has gotten better. And How'd the druid? Oh, he. How the fuck did the druid live? We're gonna do the same thing and then just step further into the corner. I can't even see what the fuck is going on here. Right? Like, this guy's got a nice ponytail. That's about all I can tell you. No, well, at least the daily quest is something else. All I have to do is kill the boss for this. We don't have to do the. There's no like monsters or whatever. Oh, I attacked his pet, Pam Bondi. Other than that one wipe, though, that was pretty flawless. These guys are all from the same guild, though. You know. It's like if I just stepped right over there. Like it's helpful to know before you still manage to make it. Mm. Cool. It's difficult, man, when those other people are sitting in a thing, then and they're talking to themselves and know each other and shit, and then they're like, oh, well, if I'm an odd man out, I don't hear any of it, and then trying to adapt to it makes it a little more difficult. I gotta say, without being so far fucking everything politicized, I did say this was going to happen because the shit was unacceptable, right? Not like writing was on the wall as far as like all this shit's concerned, and I'm glad because the shit when people are losing their lives and you can't even get up and say like it's tragic, call it like come on now. You can't even just call it a tragedy. You can't even call it a tragedy. It's a tragedy. You can't call it that. You have to say it's some act of domestic terrorism and this shit and that shit. It's like you can't even humanize someone just because of their politics or because of your agenda. It's like, come on now. And the second time around was even more egregious. And if they didn't do anything the second time, the third instance would be even worse, and it always is. That's how that works. So you see people that I'm all too familiar. I was just talking about this shit the other day to the point where I almost broke down in tears about it. When the law treats people like that and they get away with a little bit here and a little bit there, then they go for broke at some point in time, and usually third time's a charm. So hopefully people have learned their lesson about this shit. Like these people are frustrated. Yes, they're testing the law. They are tempting and trying to goat these goons into acting like what they are. And they apparently this guy Pretty knew his rights to the point where he knew it was lawful for him to carry a firearm. Whether or not it's a good idea or not to do that at a protest doesn't change the fact that it is not against the law to do it. How many constitutional law scholars have there been that have, I mean, million-dollar lawsuits filed time and time again over constitutional carry and all this other stuff, right? And then not to mention the guy was disarmed and then they shot him after the fact. There is so much here that it really did paint a picture of hypocrisy about the right, and I've always been a libertarian, but I've always identified with the Republican Party because that's the party that you can put up a candidate to actually get into office and make some change. But um, I never really identified with the Democrats because I don't necessarily agree with that level of social welfare, but um, and a whole bunch of other things, obviously. But whenever that all happened, I was just like, come on now, right? Like, don't lose me on this one, please, right? To call it something that it's not, and like, well, that doesn't really affect you. This is more about like, you think these things don't affect me, but it's the climate, the environment, the perception of these things. Like, okay, haul the guy off the jail for kicking somebody's tail light like a doofus, right? Why didn't they arrest him the day before? You know what I mean? It's like, well, clearly this isn't just a regular issue of policing and this, that, and the other thing. This is people that I'm not saying it isn't or is lawful or whatever. I don't necessarily know, but people are not necessarily used to domestic citizens and stuff are not necessarily used to being policed by feds all the time, dressed like military, parading around their neighborhoods and dragging people out of their homes by their shirt collars with either no warrant or policy warrants in hand, right? So to say it's not a traditional thing and tensions are higher than regular, I think that's fair to say. Well, maybe it should be treated as such then because you're already stepping into a gray area, right? Like you're already operating in a gray area and like you're getting closer to the black or the red area every time, right? So I'm glad that they've had this idea to fire this girl from her position there because after two instances of like you're gonna sit there and like play what you say side by side of what we all see happened and sit there and we're supposed to believe you over what our own eyes tell us. That's very Orwellian, and I fucking they've done this to me before in the past, directly, indirectly through the media, uh, this, that, and the other thing, the legal system, and every time it's always been to my detriment, never to my benefit. So that's just how I feel about it all, and I can relate to some of this shit, unfortunately, because they say, well, this is just for these people, this is just for those people. I'm like, I happen to be one of those people in some people's book, right? And illegal immigrants, well, those are just those other group of people, those people, right? It's like, well, Trust me, there's someone that doesn't like anybody, you know what I mean, somewhere out there. There's a group that always hates another group for whatever reason, any point in time in history. And I don't want it to be a matter of policy for what laws do and don't apply when that person gets into power. There's a reason why you're supposed to legislate and law and pass legislation and vote and everything else versus just like, well, new boss isn't the same as the old boss. This is all policy, and who dictates the policy is the head of the department there. So we didn't get to vote on any of this shit for the most part. We voted to establish these things and then give some vestigial figurehead autonomy in developing what the policy and laws should be for that specific group, and then new boss isn't the same as the old boss, and suddenly that's all different, and now we have to adhere to a whole different school of laws that we weren't familiar with. Yeah, I don't agree with it. And this is just another instance of why law is very important and policy is basically horse shit. But like that's just like my opinion, bro. Whatever. Hopefully the next guy does a better job than the last guy or girl or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But you would just hope to see that some change, in the second instance of, well, whether or not the first woman obviously behaving erratically ended up losing her life, but it wasn't a death sentence. I've seen people do far worse and walk away with probation for things similar, if not exactly what that woman did that day. And they never get executed, you know what I mean, just in broad daylight. While basically the guy that's like, I go to work, I study this manual, it's 100 pages, I'm supposed to know every single line of it as if it's law, and I have to behave accordingly, right? And then that day tosses it in the garbage. Turns out it wasn't the first time he did that. Stood in front of a moving vehicle, and yes, a moving vehicle is if it's in reverse or going forward. You're not supposed to stand in front of it regardless, but a moving vehicle nonetheless, and uses that as an excuse to kill somebody. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. And then go figure, the second instance is even worse. I can only imagine if nothing had been done about it what the third instance might have looked like. I only know because I've dealt with these people. My entire life consists of dealing with these people. I know what it looks like, and they always hide behind their badge if they even should have one to begin with. Some of them, I'm not saying that about everybody or any one particular group of people, but we all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on it today. I'm glad to see something was done about it. I'm not wrong about this, I promise you that much. If I were wrong, this woman would get a promotion. There would be equal parts people protesting in favor of the execution of these two individuals as there were people protesting against it. But there is quite literally zero people protesting for, and hundreds of thousands or however many, 20,000 or more, protesting against, right? So, I mean, it's as plain as that. That's not necessarily how democracy works as far as that, but the court of public opinion does. So we gotta do a regular. I should farm Shadow Labs. I want the Spell Strike pants. That's all I can do for now. Shadow Labs. Not one Shadow Labs group. Son of a bitch. It's the daily. Anyway, zing of the day. And I get it, man. There is just a far more graceful way to have handled all that. Acknowledge that this is a tragedy. Don't make this lady out to be a terrorist. There are real domestic terrorists, you know what I mean? Probably not far from where I am, more than likely, but there's real domestic terrorism that goes on in America, unfortunately, and that isn't a domestic terrorist. That's a confused lady with an opposing political viewpoint. It doesn't make her a domestic terrorist. You know what I mean? But so to kick dirt in the face of all the people that have actually lost somebody to a tragedy involving that kind of thing, you're kind of like, wow. I mean, yeah, I guess it is just some goofball lady should have been hauled off to jail, probation, mental evaluation, whatever, you know. But to be executed for that kind of thing is shitty. It's a tragedy. Call it what it is. And then the second instance, to be even more egregious, you find out the guy's an ER nurse. Yes, behaving erratically a day prior, but they didn't necessarily know that. So how does that equate in the fucking? How does that, you know, add up in the equation as to whether or not, you know, deadly force was or wasn't justified? It clearly wasn't there. He was very well aware of his rights there. You know, to say, well, I'm allowed to have a pistol. You can all say that it's dangerous, it's stupid, that he was there to commit a mass shooting, which is obviously a fucking lie. But at the end of the day, he didn't do any of those things. He was well within the law. He could have got arrested for assault or battery or public whatever disturbance, you know, ordinance violations or whatever. But no, they fucking killed him instead. Okay, well, yeah, and then same thing, you know, another case of domestic terrorism. You're like, okay, that's even more retarded, right? It's like, when does it stop, right? They don't even. They were quicker to label both of these people domestic terrorists before they were able to label this guy in the Austin shooting an actual terrorist, despite the fact he was wearing a Property of Allah T-shirt and had a Quran in his car. What does that tell you? They think more of terrorists than they do about American citizens. At some point, if it means promoting their agenda, they do. You know, and I cannot agree with it. I just can't. There was no investigating this as an instance of domestic terrorism. They flat out came, before anybody had even seen anything, came out and said, this is domestic terrorism. No investigation, not we're looking into it. I mean, they gave that guy the other day the benefit of the doubt, you know what I mean? And they wouldn't even give, you know what I mean, an American citizen the benefit of the doubt. That's, yeah, I can't agree with it. We're doing Shadow Labs. I think we do have a Shadow Labs group, thank God. Cool. Oh yeah, they're summoning me to the entrance here. So we still have all the instructors, cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna expend all my fucking mental juice arguing and fighting and being bent out of shape about the shit, but you know what I mean? I have at least that much to say. Fuck. Oh, yeah, full mana bar. Oh my god. Jerry, he's our man if he can't do it. Jerry. I need to get a working microwave so I can cook a bag of popcorn. What sheep moon then? I'll sheep moon. Are we getting the instructor first? Are we getting the instructor first? The reason why I ask is because the shit that sap is going to break. While the could break while the instructor is like right there. Yikes. We should be able to do it still regardless, as long as my sheep doesn't break. Oh, perfect timing. Right. Just need a moment. He said, don't worry. What did he say? Don't worry about DPS or aggro. Either way. One out of 3 instructors. Where am I sheeping? Fuck. Fuck. Come on now. Where's the thing that can heal? There we go. I don't have a fucking interrupt. God damn it. Fuck, and I used my fucking counterspell on the wrong one. Wrong timing. There we go. What a fucking nightmare. All I have left is mana for sheep. Fuck. He interrupted it. At the end of the day, right? It's like nobody likes having basically the government insult their intelligence about shit regardless of your politics. Sure, it's pretty on the ball about fucking getting around and all that. Bashing and bear charging and doing bear karate. Seems like just yesterday this guy was saying I was dog shit at World of Warcraft doing this exact same pull. We were playing pretty terrible, but he was attacking the wrong fucking targets and stuff. You guys are dog shit. Getting called dog shit by Thunderhawk. Right. Yes. You guys are dog shit. You can counterspell that, but you can't interrupt it with a dragon's breath. So weird. Anyway, I thought there was more to this expansion, dude. Maybe I'll do quests or something. Change it up a bit, right? Finish up. Yeah, let's do that tonight. After we got um, to take our Google Internet classes, right? Oh, I should perusing through a copy. I do have a copy of Internet for Dummies somewhere. I should read it line by line. The joke is the competence. It's like a TV show in my head where the guy is like trying to hire a tech person, and he goes to his office or whatever and he sees a copy of it. I need mana for a second. He sees a copy of Internet for Dummies on his desk, right? It's like, how much confidence do you have in your IT guy when he has a copy of Internet for Dummies, right? You mean to tell me, fucking, come on now, kill the imp. I know it's not the first time. I know he's got it marked skull, but it does damage and it's like annoying and has low health. So this guy always hanging out. He's got to seduce. Oh, this guy doesn't give me any bad vibes. Looks like a nice enough guy. In the tent. Where's the tent? Resist. Yikes, man. What the fucking... I have like a whole shitload of spell hit. I shouldn't be getting resisted. Oh, and he fucking pulled everything. Oh, he fucking pulled all of it. I'm melting. Fuck. Why'd you do all that, guy? Oh, wait. Did he pull? No, he pulled everything besides the instructor. We got it. We're good. We know how to do things. Here on Planet World of Warcraft. Hey, I would eat there. Get mutton chops. What's the stuff called? Noggin Fogger? A World of Warcraft themed restaurant. This is crazy enough to fail. If Planet Hollywood couldn't do it, I can't imagine. Maybe not as a franchise, right? Just one restaurant that serves food that you name after World of Warcraft. But I wouldn't imagine it'd be the next Starbucks or anything. And at the end of the day, if you think about it, like Starbucks was just a way for people for software engineers that felt guilty about how much they were getting paid to like overpay someone that doesn't do a whole lot of work. It's like the baristas make like 70 and $80,000 a year. It's like that's just because they feel guilty that they make $5 and $10 million a year as software engineers in Seattle in the early '90s. I wonder why, right? That's their equivalent of condolences or white guilt, right? The only reason Starbucks succeeded, right? And they got away with yoking the entire nation, charging $10 for a fucking coffee because of it. It was the it was the pre-carbon credit condolences days, right? That's what it was too. Prove me wrong. I dare you to prove me wrong about that. Prove me wrong about it. You can't fucking do it. You can't do it. It's a fucking nationwide bank heist. Starbucks. It's a Mark Twain quote. The rumors of my death are greatly exaggerated, right? He was from Old Hannibal, Missouri, uh, a town about, I forget where it is compared to where I grew up. 3 hours away. I know that much. A bunch of interesting Missouri historical landmarks and stuff. Daniel Boone's home. Place is super awesome. If you ever get a chance, I'd say go visit it. It's an old frontier home, and like it had all these, in case Indians attacked and stuff. Not like not the tech support guys, but feather the feather Indians. Um, they had these like big, like stone home, basically big bricks, and they'd have like these slots cut out in the front of the home, so they could point their muskets out and shoot Indians if they tried to attack. Could you imagine having to live like that? Fucking shit, man! What a nightmare. Really nice place though. One of the things they told us though, and I don't know how true it is because I've read different reports about it, but the doorways in their houses are really short. And the reason that the tour guide told us was because in the olden days they used to tax people based on the height of their doorways in their home. So to circumvent paying taxes or whatever, they would have just shorter doorways. I can't imagine how that's true, right? I can't imagine. Actually something I definitely need to research to make sure because it seems like something someone just made up more than likely. If anybody knows if that's true or not, let me know. The tour guide at the Daniel Boone home told us that. They have a chapel there too. There's like a year or two waiting list to get married at the chapel there at Daniel Boone's home. Uh, yeah, that's probably where I'd like to get married there, honestly. It's a really cool place, though. I'd love to have a place built like it, but they've added on to it since then. At some point in time, it wasn't as illustrious, if that's even a word. Oh, oh, he's gonna mind control. Fuck. Ah, I was almost fucking. That's gonna kill that guy. Nope. I thought it was going to. Thank God. I'm like a crit fireball. Missed. Ooh. I'm not letting you fucking beat me to death. I've done shit damage, but fuck. He keeps moving away from me. It's like, no, you want us in melee range, so we melee each other instead of cast spells. I'll stand next to this guy then. I don't smell like poop or anything. Yikes. This priest is pretty good, man. Keeping everybody up to all this shit. Wrong fucking bar. Cool. We're doing good here. Did we complete the other quests? We have like one more instructor. Yeah, we got the instructors. Cool. Yeah. Oh, these guys hit hard, so wait. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, I guess last night was a blood moon. Crazy. That show that was really like super good in the day back in the day was what was it called? Ultimate Warrior. Maybe that's not the right name of it, but they would like pair like ninjas up against samurais and stuff, and like a Spartan versus like you know what I mean, a knight and stuff. It was a super cool show. I wish they'd like we ran it through our simulator 1,000 times. You know, like I would like to see that kind of thing revisited. They'd pair like ninjas. Obviously, I think they say ninjas and samurais were actually enemies at some point in time, like already. But it was like ninjas versus knights or something, and it shows like a simulated battle between old TV show on Spike TV. Super cool. And they'd show like a ninja in his arsenal, hollowed out eggs, ground up glass, put it in the eggs to throw at the knight, and like he dismounts the knight, and the knight's got all this armor on, and it shows him like throwing ninja stars at him and butter knives. Right. It was super funny. Super awesome, rather. Yeah, totally awesome. Today was cooler outside, thankfully. 70, actually 76. I probably use less electricity this time of year than I would keeping it heated during like a snowstorm or whatever. As soon as I get an opportunity, I've got to get the fucking air conditioning fixed or new air conditioning for the downstairs. Which, thankfully, through all of this, no fucking home repairs or anything crazy occurred, right? So I'm just trying to fucking muscle through this last stretch of attrition, and then we should be good. I don't know how much this Iran engagement is going to keep things one way or another. You know, I really don't. Soothe. Just waiting on your timer, guy. Fuck. He's not a whatever. He innervate me? He did innervate. Cool. These skeletons have more health than I thought. Anyway. trying to think of like how how do you interface like in helpful ways, right? So a video game like WoW is not like a MOBA. It's not like a strategy game. It's not turn-based. How do you make an AI helpful when you're playing WoW? I guess just I'm trying to think of ways to do it other than to just remind you of things and to basically hang out with you when nobody else will, when nobody else will, right? But I guess strategy, like it would just be great. Like I said, the thing I said the other day, I guess the gladiator thing I was talking about, even if it doesn't, even if you don't use the AI to actually engage and play the game, it could tell you how to play better. You know what I mean? It could coach you and have you play WoW better as far as like find old mage PvP videos, pay the guys fucking a few $1,000s or whatever to acquire the rights to their old footage for training data, and then that way, like it'll say, well, what would have worked better there is if you had done this, this, and this, or whatever, instead of it taking over control and playing the game for you, coach you on how to play better, right? That would be great for MOBAs and stuff, you know, because there's so many characters, and there's guys that are super good at agility characters and don't know how to play the strength characters or whatever, you know. It would be great to just have like a whoever's, you know, it doesn't have to be the best because it's probably impossible to find all the best people, but if there were a way to do a screen record session while using the training software, no matter what game, right? And I guess you don't have to really, I guess, I don't know for sure, but you don't have to fine tune the thing to say, like, in this training session, like, it should be able to derive all those answers based on, like, context, right? So if it were to scan your screen and watch you play games, um, it would know based on that. You wouldn't have to say, like, and today I'm playing World of Warcraft. I went blah, 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 blah. I think it would be able to, like I said, discern all that information just by a screen share thing or whatever. But if you were to have it to where, like, you could reasonably say that you would have a thing where, like, well, it requires a certain amount of credits and it eats however many credits a minute or an hour or whatever the duration is, and basically you could hire it like a coach for video games. Oh, fuck me running. Possibly. That wouldn't be like something you would have to emphasis on to begin with. That would be like a byproduct of its framework. You wouldn't have to, like, what I mean is, like, if you don't have to like fine tune it to do that, that's a good like not a good feature, but it is a feature, but it's not that specific. You could ask it to help you do anything is the point. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking in perspective, like, oh, if you want to learn how to play piano, you know, I guess set up a camera and point it at the fucking thing. And have it find videos to help you improve your piano playing, you know, instructional, like, challenge videos, like, I challenge you to learn fucking blah, 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 right? Now practice this video, and then, I guess, man, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of different instances of where, like, using it as like a coach, like a life coach, whatever aspect of your life it might be, right? From cooking to piano to video games. I just happen to be playing a video game. That is all right, guy. It happens. That would be like further on down the road. Obviously, I wouldn't say like you got to come up with like a priority list of what isn't important currently, right? Like that's like a niche feature later on, but it might also just be a feature that happens naturally because of how it's developed or you know what I mean, how the framework is designed and all that. It might just be something it can do based on how it's designed, not necessarily we had to design that specific feature, which is the interesting part about AI. None of these are marked with the moon. So there they go. That went smoother. Have to eat after this though. Alright now. And curse of elements too, hell yeah. Be big numbers. Well, sort of. Big enough to pull aggro. Fuck. Pauldrons. I've never heard them called pauldrons before. Wait for that thing to disappear, right? Doesn't it disappear? That's where we had the problem last time, was that those guys didn't know that these things will like run off and run back in and all that. And we'd sheep a pool, then one would run out, and it would fucking de-sheep and pull the next pool. Jerry. Yeah, if you sap, the sap breaks, the next thing pulls no matter what, almost every time. You pull and that despawns. I'm trying to counterspell it so it runs to you. Is that not full rank Pyroblast? Should be. Crit for tickets resisted some of it. We're gonna crit for 2600. Yeah, that's it. Really? Fuck. Are you fucking kidding me? You can interrupt me while you're feared? Did I see that correctly? Save your counter spell. Wherever the person is. Oh, there they are. Yeah. Oh well. I forgot you can hold just your right mouse button and rotate your character. I'm like always keyboard turning, so I don't have like I've got like this much room to move my mouse around to, so I'm kind of like it's not quite a trackpad, but not quite a computer desk, right? I have a mouse, but I'm using it on my bed. I've got like no room at all to move it around. Hopefully he's picking those things up over there, man. That shit is got a blind on it. Oh, we haven't seen a blind in a while. Look at that. Lacerate and all that shit, no bleeds, nothing? Really? Wow, clutch. S tier gamers, bro. Bunch of level 60 dads. S tier gamers, bro. Bunch of right. Yeah, true. I'm dragging my feet, kind of. Really, in all honesty, like I am really dragging my feet as far as like playing. I could buckle down and say like I'm gonna World of Warcraft resume, and you guys invite me to your raid. Oh, come to me. What are we doing? Why do we war drums before the fight started? God damn it. Are you sure you know what you're doing? I should be in a position here where my murmur won't explode and kill anybody else. Right, that should be within out of range of that guy. Yep. And of course, I fucking get the murmur's touch right as the thing. Right as we get below 20%. God damn it. As smooth as this place can go, I guess. Yeah, neato. We'll port to Shatarath. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna pause this and start up a stream again in a little bit, but I'm gonna eat and see if I have anything to just take care of real quick.